envoy? Is it really you? Mihala told us you went into some place called the Garden to seek a god?
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there? The god you felt in couldnt?
The origin of the Dream Scourge? It was the act of a god this whole time?
Everyone, please, please. We could get to the bottom of this if you would only let them speak. It's been weeks, Envoy. What happened? Finally, a ray of sunlight shines through the storm cloud.
I will not grovel at the envoy's feet for solving a plague I am not convinced was real.
If you wardens ever bothered to pull your heads out of your asses, you wouldn't take such pride in your ignorance.
You know nothing of me or my people, you fucking pirate!
Warden Commander, look around you. Is this really the time?
We believe the Dream Scourge was a malady of the soul. How did you put an end to it, Envoy?
Sapadal was responsible for the Dream Scourge. Their rage, their confusion, their fear.
But the plague isn't over. Dream Thralls still litter Shatterscarp.
There won't be any new infections. We've put a stop to that for good. Unfortunately, there's little we can do for those already in the grip of the Dream Scourge. We can give them comfort, nothing more. This will be a process. The Dream Scourge was never going to simply go away overnight.
I suppose it stands to reason. I found that a quick fix is often anything but. What of this god, then? What does it mean that you freed them? Lodwyn had intimated that this land grew a new god. But how can that be?
Giata and I have some theories about the nature of the Adra in the Living Lands.
I'd say we're past the point of theorizing.
If the Adra here is a closed system, like a terrarium for our souls, then a gradual accumulation of essence could coalesce into a being in the beyond.
Much like the formation of gemstones. All it takes is time and the right application of pressure.
Wodka no doubt saw Sapadal as a threat to her authority. So, she killed the godless and imprisoned their god.
I assume it is this god we have to thank for the roots tearing apart Paradise? They erupted from the earth the moment those bastards stood up their first siege tower.
couldnt was riven with those things, not to mention what they did to the land.
We saw similar destruction at Nakukubel. If these roots and the Dream Scourge are the work of a god, and the gods thought it best to imprison this god, how could you let such a creature go free?
For now. Who's to say they don't get their feathers in a ruff again and wipe us all out with a tsunami?
It was Adir's arrival that disturbed Sapadal. We'll have nothing to fear from this god once we expel you from our lands.
Sapadal's power ravaged my people. I don't know that I can ever trust it.
Keeping watch over Sapadal was a sacred task Nandru gave us when he left. For that reason alone, my wardens owe them their allegiance.
Well, whatever happens, I suppose we can't put the godling back in the bottle now. But come, we have more pressing matters to attend to. The Steel Garrote have attacked Paradise. Inquisitor Lodwyn has already joined the battle. She must have traveled like the wind to get here so fast.
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't looking. Just to be sure.
Well, she's seen better days, but you wouldn't know it judging by how she fights.
Lodwyn's plowed through the militia like a knife through warm butter.
All right, let's keep the similes to ourselves.
A bit like you're being haunted, isn't it? Or cursed. But that's your affair. So long as her passion for Wodka lives, so too will her spirit.
Then we destroy her faith, and the rest of her will follow. I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to hear it. But I think we can kill her.
Oh, good. That will be easy.
It is not, I think, impossible. Well, you might not believe me, but I didn't want any of this to happen. It was Lodwyn who called for the attack.
I didn't hear an answer, Ambassador.
She and her steel garrote laid siege to the city, shortly after you beat her to the garden.
We've had no news from inside for several days. From what we can observe, southern Paradis is in pieces, and the remaining militia batters at the gates to no avail.
Is there nothing our people can do?
Given the state of our supply routes after the Dream Scourge, and the Steel Garrote's destruction, we expect the people trapped inside will run short of fresh food and clean water in a matter of days.
We brought as many Hail and Able from Thirdborn as would come. But after the Dream Scourge and our losses from Nakukubel, we could spare so few. I worry it won't be enough.
Likewise, my wardens are still reeling from effects of the eruption. The keep was saved, but there is much to repair, particularly if we are to endure a siege. Most of my men remain at the keep. I can't risk them against the Steel Garrote for the sake of Paradis, not when we are so few.
Well, it's been a point of debate. We can't agree on how to stand against the Steel Garrote, nor who should lead the effort.
Nobody wants to risk their people at the front.
So you let the Paradis militia go it alone?
Even if our meager forces should make it inside.
The siege won't end until Lodwyn does. And none of you know how to kill her.
Precisely. The lawful settlement of a new Adirian colony, supposedly. Or the establishment of a Wodekin state. She could win with a godlike in her ranks. Your presence would serve as a powerful endorsement. I don't think peace is her concern. Remember, she has an obligation to Wodeka, a solemn oath. And neither the Steel Garrote nor the Queen that was look kindly upon oathbreakers.
Because a victory here would discourage resistance elsewhere. The better question is, why didn't you stop her?
Excuse me? She's a 7-foot-tall skeleton powered by her devotion to the goddess of retribution. This isn't my fault.
Sure. Just blame the dead woman. Very mature.
Who else should I blame exactly? Our envoy, perhaps? For not stopping Lodwyn and the Tusks?
You could start with blaming your own incompetence. Why are you treating him with kid gloves when Paradis cries out for help?
Enough. I've heard your concerns. We cannot change it now. The Inquisitor was so convinced the Living Lands would unite against Adir that she's nearly made it true. One people, one law, one true God. That's Lodwyn's vision for the Living Lands. The Inquisitor answers only to Wodeka. In attacking Paradis, she has dragged us all far beyond the bounds of the Emperor's desires. I've answered your questions. Now I would like you, all of you, to answer mine. Lodwyn has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advisors and reinforcements swiftly in response. What will his representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? A budding grave room? Before you face Lodwyn, you should know what you're fighting for. All of you must decide, together. But whatever you decide, understand, the days of the frontier are done. Adir will come. Indeed, we are already here. Well, don't leave me in suspense. have mercy.
Solus and her wardens stand vigil with the living lands.
By grit and steel, Thirdborn stands with the living lands.
Fjord and her animancer stand with the living lands.
We deserve this opportunity. Thank you for believing in us.
Fighting a battle together is easy. I just hope everyone's willing to stick it out when it comes to the politics.
God, they made the right decision for once.
Finally, some sense permeates the proceedings.
On your head be the consequences. That leaves the matter of Lodwyn and the Steel Garrote. She will never surrender, Envoy. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradise, and eventually the island.
The living lands will never be free until we break the chain around our necks. Lodwyn must die her final death.
She better say her goodbyes while she can.
I'm proud to fight at your side, Envoy. One last time.
Let's get to work then. We've got a walking corpse to bury.
The Paradise militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter. The future waits for you.
Thank you for deserving it. Now, go and teach the Steel Garrote a lesson they will never forget.
Show them that the living lands will not be broken across Vodka's knee.
We will send reinforcements to help you reclaim the Eastern Gate. From there, work your way to the main plaza. May all the gods of Eora and the living lands protect you.
Let's take back the city together. Show the Steel Garrote how the living lands takes care of its own.
Let's go free a city, shall we? We've got company! Protect the envoy!
For our freedom!
Make the
Let's get him!
Take a mistake!
That it? I heard some talk.
Let's finish that.
I'm coming.
Nicely done.
I'm with you.
Yatzli. Well done. What are you doing here?
Stop right there!
We've got company.
Shouldn't be here!
Someone's eager to meet us. Watch your back.
For the living lands!
I need space.
I'll teach you.
Wodeca demands your submission. Stand against her and fall.
Let's pay Lodwyn one
There
final
you
visit,
are.
shall we?
So, you survived the garden. Did you come all this way just to try your luck again? To kill me more efficiently than last time? You'll get your chance. Look around, envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring order through compromise. He failed. Order is meant to be imposed by a stern, guiding hand.
Her order wields sharp steel. She must set down her blade.
Don't insult my intelligence or my commitment to the cause. Treaties can be burned. The hands which shook over whatever deal you struck, can be lopped off at the wrist. As for you, Sapadal's chains are broken, which means your soul is in their grasp. I don't know how deeply you've been compromised, Envoy. And if I don't know, then I cannot suffer you to live. Do not patronize me. I have every right to put down a threat to the Empire. Steel yourself, Envoy. Make this a fight to remember, even in death.
We would not welcome her death. There is still ample shade for her beneath our tree.
I certainly thought I knew you. It's amazing how a beating heart can affect one's judgment. But I don't know what you are now. Consider death my parting gift in recognition of our time together. I give you freely that which I can never have. You really believe you can kill me? Do it then. Kill me as no one ever has. Hold nothing back. Give it your all and destroy me.
There's no coming back this time. Prepare yourself for the next world.
You won't be missed, Lodwyn.
Once I'm done killing you, your god of flame!
You asked for it!
We are every seed in the soil. We will always grow.
Come on, let's keep it on. One last go!
Come on! Come on! Faster, I say!
Whoa, Queen among queens! Send me your aid!
Wodica is done with you, Lodwyn.
Your days are numbered.
Grow up!
Wherever Lodwyn is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done. But we're not. Whatever's next, we'll face it. Together.
Gods, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel her wire against our flesh. We are free always. We are free forever.
Silence falls over Paradis, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. You feel Sapadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. The god of the living lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Paradis militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The Dream Scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. Thanks to you, the living lands has escaped Adiran oppression. The free settlements unite under a common banner and begin the fraught process of negotiating new traditions and values. The Empire withdraws. The frontier remains wild, but not for long. For the rebels of Paradis, this is not a victory they can share. Fearing your wrath, they retreat deeper into the wilderness, taking their secrets and ideals with them. The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. The ashes of Fior Messiverno continue to smolder.
Scavengers avoid the ruins, fearful of spirits unleashed by animancy gone awry. The once promising city is nothing but a cautionary tale. For the people of Shatterscarp, independence is bittersweet. Those who cannot withstand the grief inflicted by Ringgrim's spell leave the settlements, vanishing into the wilderness. Those who remain find themselves forced to cooperate with others, often begrudgingly. With so many dead, the need to stave off hunger outweighs any distaste for certain trading partners. Solace Keep clings to its long-held isolation at first. But after mourning her friend Kostya, Mihala reluctantly deigns to open the doors of the fortress. Some dwarves greet newcomers with glee. Others still mutter darkly about outsiders. Mihala flounders in her earliest negotiations with the rest of the living lands, but slowly learns compromise. She develops a taste for Valian sweets. As the din of battle fades and the dust settles in Paradise, Kai finds himself alone again. He longs to enjoy the camaraderie that follows a skirmish, but something is missing. The songs ring hollow in his chest, and the drink lands dry in his throat. He packs what little he has and makes for the coast. He doesn't know where he will go, only that his time in the living lands is through. There was a lifeline here, but he never quite grasped it. He will drift. With his travels alongside the envoy complete, Marius is left directionless once again. Rather than disappearing into his cups, however, Marius leans on his time among his companions to give him the strength to re-enter society and find comfort in civilization. He establishes a route between Paradise and Thirdborn, guiding travelers between the two in return for money and supplies. And while he has a reputation for being aloof, he joins the campfires from time to time, sharing stories of his time with the envoy that most travelers believe are completely made up. Giada continues to improve as an animancer. She dedicates her work to the spiritual health of the living lands, nurturing instead of exploiting. Others follow her example, seeking her tutelage from lands far and wide. In the years to come, rumors spread of a secret society gathering in the wilderness, where animancers work in harmony with nature. The dream of Fior Mes Iverno lives on in her. No longer under the threat of imminent death, Yardsley returns to the Animancers. Reunited with her beloved Quilici, she helps him and the Animancers as they put their lives together after the attack on Fior Mes Iverno. Eventually, she even has something nice to say to Vidaro. As the days pass in contentment and relative peace, Yardsley is struck by the persistent feeling that something is missing. Though she still devotes herself to her studies of both the arcane and the godless, the restlessness never goes away. Freed from torment for the first time in centuries, Sapadal turns their prodigious curiosity to the people that shaped them. They observe the ways their people live, and they think deeply about what they see. Though they flinch away from moments of violence, and they grieve souls returned to them too soon, the rage that once shook cities to rubble no longer rules them. Instead, they come to you with questions. They want to understand. After a time, they begin tentatively to garden. Where they can, they improve the lives of Kith, and the suffering that troubled them is reduced, if never fully eradicated. Their grief compels them to love, and they love unreservedly, with the power of a god. Sapadal pours a fragment of their power into the statue they claimed from the temple of Aethys. Newly embodied, they roam the living lands, and learn to experience the world as kith do. Their first attempts at locomotion are clumsy, and a stand of innocent trees is violently returned to the wheel. But as their confidence grows, so does their grace. Soon, they are bounding across the plains of eastern Dawnshore, leaping the river gorge in Emerald Stair, scaling the shark's teeth of Shatterscarp, and fearlessly wading into the Tusk's acid sea. When they break, they come to you to put them back together, and in time, they learn to fix themselves. They wander far afield. You see less of them, but they are never far from your thoughts. And on the rare occasion they return, they always bring you something beautiful and strange. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.